Hey everyone, welcome back. Kim and Adam show took a bit of a break last week, but here we are. Here I am. We know Adam's gotta
gotta pop in. Gotta have an interesting entrance.
Dude. Every time.
That was my least effort one. That wasn't like when I was crouching behind the door or when I still haven't figured out how I'm gonna drop from the ceiling yet, but that was it's coming. Someday it's coming. I just need I need the right room. I need the right room with maybe I need to go to like a jungle gym where there's like the rope or the pole that I can slide down.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a parachute.
That could work too. When I was a kid, I always wanted to do like the skydiving thing, like go to like do the parachute thing. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. You know, I loved superheroes and Peter Pan, so just like the closest you can get to like flying. And then I remember being like, yeah, as soon as I turn whatever it is, 18, 21, 25, whatever the age that you have to be is, I was like, I'm gonna do it right away. And then that day came one, and I remember thinking like, I have no interest in doing that. I have zero. Now that I can actually do it, I'm like, I don't want to do that at all. That sounds like something that I would be terrified by. So
you never did the one at Canada's Wonderland, like when you like come up and like link arms with people
and you're in like the swing thing.
Yeah.
No, I see it. I admit that was probably what helped me be like looking at that, being like, I have no desire to be in that weird giant swing thing. So okay, you grow and you change.
Picture this, and you know these people. Tim Greer.
I do, yeah. Friend from camp.
Dave Pliley.
Another friend from camp, yeah.
And then one other girl that I don't think you know, Christy. The three of them went on this when I was pregnant. And I literally together. And somebody has to pull the cord, right? So whoever's in the middle has to pull the cord.
Because it's like you're up on a big thing, and then they're like it's almost like a bungee jump thing, but it's just like a big arc.
Yeah.
And so you go up on the platform, and then they let go, and you just swing down, and it's super tall, like it's 100 feet up.
Yeah. So I'm pregnant, and I'm standing at the bottom, like I'm gonna deliver my baby right here now. then Jared goes up with two of the other kids, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I can't. And I literally just stood underneath going, I don't know if I'm gonna like throw up, deliver a baby, or wet my pants. But there's no way I could ever do that. My cousin's wife, she jumped out of a plane.
She did the skydiving thing.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yvonne, was it the like where you have the professional behind you thing, like the 2-person? Yeah. So I think that's what you have to do first. Like you have to do a ton of training to do the just you free
all by
fall
yourself
thing. Yeah.
I never really felt called or led to that. So
yeah, after age 10 I started to feel the same way. So
that was just a couple years ago.
So I'm thinking I'll probably just use the jungle gym.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Kim, you had a wonderful, long overdue, so well deserved holiday. How was it? Tell us a little bit about it. What you got to do, who you got to meet on this holiday.
Okay, so everybody's heard me talk about my Julia. And so Christine is one of my best friends. I refer to her as my little sister. I met her at camp. And we've just been like this for, 20 some odd years. Yeah. And so I haven't seen her because of COVID.
Because she lives
in Victoria, BC.
Victoria, British Columbia. So way, way far away.
Yeah, a long plane trip away. But because of COVID, just haven't been able to get there. And now that everybody is double vaxxed, it's starting to lift a little bit. Things are a little bit different. I could not wait to get out there to see Christine in the middle of COVID. Christine's mom, Nancy, who was a dear friend of mine, died. She had an awful cancer. And anyway, so picture this, Amy and I, we were supposed to have a direct flight from Toronto to Victoria because I don't love to fly. I
don't love flying. Yeah.
So I'm like, if I can do a direct flight, that'll be easier. So we were all set for a direct flight. Our flight shifted we flew into Vancouver, and we were connecting. So we're like, okay, no problem. But I know it's going to be a little plane from Vancouver to Victoria, because literally the flight was maybe 20 minutes from Vancouver
Right. From Vancouver. Yes. It's just you're hopping over to the island.
Right. So we're like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we're sitting on the plane and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry to tell you that our flight is delayed a little bit. So it kept delaying. It delayed almost an hour leaving. But in my head, I'm like, we have half an hour between when we are supposed to land in Vancouver to when we're supposed to board for Victoria.
Oh, wow. Yikes.
And it's one of those big, huge 787s. Like, so you've got like 3 seats, 5 seats, 3 seats, or whatever. Like,
wow. So it's
ginormous plane. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And we were in the exit row. So I'm like, we're far enough back that like, we can't just run through the plane, right? You're not going to people. So anyway, once we take off, the captain's like, we're going to try and get in touch with your connecting flight. There's 22 of you who have to get on the flight to Victoria. And we're like,
sounds good that they knew that there were a lot of people, which I guess they must assume, a lot of people are going there to then go over to the island.
But only 22 of us from this huge honking plane. So Amy and I are like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. Well, then it wasn't until we landed that we found out that our Victoria flight was going to be delayed a little bit and that they were going to hold the plane for us. So 22 of us are like running. And I mean, everybody's like talking to each other going, are you okay? Do you need help? Do you need this? And this poor lady, we get up behind her and we're like huffing and puffing. And I said, can I help you with anything? And she said, oh, I'm going to need to sit down soon. And I said, do you want me to get you a chair? She's like, no, I'm good. And then she says to me, I was supposed to have wheelchair assistance to get from the gate to this gate. And I was like,
oh, wow.
So I said, can we take your bags? Can we help you? She's like, no, dear, I'm fine. Thank you. I was like, oh my gosh, what happens if she falls? What happens? Like if she's supposed to be escorted in a wheelchair, she shouldn't be running through the airport.
Definitely not.
So then we go, it's like, you have to go outside to board the plane because it's this like teeny tiny little plane that you're getting on now that literally you have to sit like this because your head's going to hit the roof.
Oh, right. Wow.
Right. So here's this lady trying to get up and then, man, what a sweetheart. She's trying to sit in her seat and she's taking a little bit longer, which when you have stuff that you're carrying on and you're trying to get comfortable, it takes you a bit. She looks at Amy. She goes, I'm so sorry. I'm so slow, dear. We're like, take your time.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
We're all here now. It's fine. So,
and I mean, my goodness, after that journey.
Right. And anyway, so
of course, take a second.
We made sure that she got her wheelchair at the other end, like in Victoria, and she met up with whoever. So we said goodbye to her. But oh my gosh. So have you ever seen those like YouTube videos with like airport reunions when like people are like, they haven't seen each other in a long time. They're like,
yeah, a little bit. Like, yeah.
Amy said she was going to get her phone out to record Christine and I. So we had to go to the bathroom. So we stopped to pee before coming through the gate. And Christine texted me going, did I miss you? And I'm like, no, we're here. So we come out.
Here, yeah.
And literally she starts to cry. I start to cry. She's got new baby Tessa in the baby bucket. And I'm like, just put the baby down. So the two of us are just like bawling our eyes out and hugging each other. And I'm like, oh, it was so cool. And then we laughed. And then she and Amy had a few tears and then they laughed. And anyway, so Victoria's 3 hours behind. So my time, like my body clock is still ugh. So we got there and it was like 2 a.m. our time by the time we got in and settled. And so we didn't wake Julia up because it was pretty late. But the next morning, Julia came into our room and it was like, she's been used to seeing me like this. Like we talk on FaceTime all the time. So Auntie Kimmy's like, camera Auntie Kimmy. So she snuck in and her little face and just hugged me. And anyway, it was good. Awesome trip. And I can't wait to go back.
That is so awesome to hear the other side, because from my end of things, as all this was happening, we were at Burley Sub. I think it was our Halloween night, and Haley had her phone and was like, oh, I'm tracking I can see the progress. And so for us, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they're on the plane like right now, because we had just seen each other at
in the morning
trunk or treat, and then in the morning morning, and I was like, oh, they're on the plane right now. And so we're just like, here on our end of things, we're just like, oh yeah, look, there's their little plane flying along. Meanwhile, you're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be late, and now we're running, and we're helping this lady, and we're getting down, and we're putting up, we're moving ahead there, and then we're in the bathroom, and then we're hugging like so.
Yeah.
I finally seeing the inside scoop, and well, I think that is especially. I'm so glad that you had that vacation, and Christine and I, and especially Christine's brother and I worked at camp for a long time too. So yeah, their family is some of my favorite people, and so I'm so glad that you got to have that time together. And I think especially as you were talking about this lady in the airport, I think it's a perfect segue for today, because we are going to do a skit for y'all about one of a skit rendition of a story that Jesus tells his disciples that is all about what does it look like to help people, to care for people, what does it not look like to help people, to care for people, and what is Jesus really calling us to do with our lives, and how to treat other people, and how not to treat other people. So we've got a skit for y'all. Some of you watching might know the story of the Good Samaritan. Some of you might be seeing it for the first time. So Good Samaritan, we don't even kind of have time to unpack really fully what that means here, because we have just a short amount of time. So we're just going to call this character Good Sam for today. So you'll meet Good Sam, you'll meet some other characters, but we are going to employ some movie magic here, and we are going to do a skit for y'all this morning.
Yeah, like oh, I had a little echo there. Movie magic for sure, but I think they're going to have to be patient, because there's so many parts and only two of us.
Yes, so but then that's where the movie magic comes in. We are going to, for all of you, play an entire cast of characters just with Kim and Adam.
Maybe we could win an Academy Award.
I think that we will, because I think it's usually like in the winter, the February or something, right? So I think we're going to come in under the deadline. So please upvote us and send us to the Academy.
I could wear this new gold jacket that I was telling you about.
You could. That could be one of the costumes.
Can you hear Oliver?
I could. Oh, actually, I just did. I couldn't before. I just did. The cat is having a time back there, it seems.
Yeah. Can you? Yeah.
Well, he's a big fan. He wants us to win the Oscars. Okay.
Maybe we should make him a character.
We could. Yeah, I heard. Okay, now I can really hear. It's Wednesday, he's having a big day.
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, we good?
Yep. So got this. Yep.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So let's
magic all set up.
This. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, you good?
1 second.
Oh.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, me too. Hey.
So.
Wait, I have to be the first person. I can't whistle very well. What a great day for a walk to Jerusalem. Okay,
go. Robbers, 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 robbers. Well, we knocked this man from Jericho down, and we brought our attack dog with us too, and he gave him so many licks and kisses, and he was all distracting the man with licks and kisses. Well, this is an unplanned character in this sketch. And I'll take his wallet. You, my friend, Robert number 2, will have the attack dog here scaring anyone else away. You take him, you hold him down while I take his wallet.
Okay, boss, I'll hold him down. Yes, I will.
Hold on a second. My attack dog is sniffing around, and he's telling me, he's whispering in my ear. Is that correct?
Get him.
Yeah, He is telling me that he has no wallet. All he has is a bag of gummy worms.
Gummy worms? Woohoo! I love gummy worms.
Okay? Well, you love gummy worms. Okay, great.
Can I have some? Can I have like just 5?
shh, you gotta be quiet. How are we gonna pay for a hotel in Jerusalem with a bag of gummy worms? Like, I know that they're delicious, but we're not gonna be able to get anything like that,
That's
really.
easy. I'll hug them and I'll squeeze them and keep them warm and make sure the gummy worms are safe. I'll just tuck them in my shirt here, and you can count on me. You can count on me. I won't let these gummy worms go until we get them into the hands of the innkeeper.
The innkeeper won't take gummy worms for a room. We just, this not, I know you know what? Just like, never mind. Let's go. Let's just leave this guy, leave him on the ground.
But boss, can I have the red gummy worms?
I'll give you the red gummy worms. Take the red gummy worms. Take them.
Movie magic.
Movie magic. Oh my, what a mess. You know, walking along as a priest, I just find that so many people just make a mess and they'll sleep anywhere nowadays. There's this man over here who's lying on the side of the road, just having a nap. I think I'm just gonna go to the other side from him, the other side, and just kind of judge him on the way, sleeping in a ditch. I mean, come on. I mean, I suppose have a nice sleep, but ugh, these riffraffs off to church.
Yikes! Looks like someone's been robbed and beaten up. I wish I had time to help him, but I've got a very important meeting with the elders at the church, and we're gonna go to laser tag, and I need to just go. So I'll say a prayer for you as I walk down.
On my way to the old Samaritan reunion, and oh my goodness, there's a man on the side of the road here. Are you okay? Are you all right? Here, let me get some medicine. I have some bandages in my car. I have some polysporin. You look like you kind of got beat up and maybe an attack dog, and I see that there's no gummy worms on you. I have some gummy worms that I can offer you. Listen, I'm going to call for help. I'm going to call for some people to come help me. We are going to get you to the hospital. And obviously, there's nothing here in the wall. There's no gummy worms. So I am going to pay the bill and make sure that you have everything you need. Don't worry about it. It's not a payback kind of thing here. I have got your back. I'm going to get this guy to the hospital because that's just seems like the right thing to do. And
we can do that. Thank you very much. Take it back.
That is our skit involving movie magic and a whole cast of characters, including they say never work with kids or animals, but
right,
including
and you've got the
Enzo the dog.
And I've got the cat Yowling.
The cat, yeah.
Passed out on the couch.
This was a whole Broadway cast here.
It was big names. We should put our name in lights or something. So, Jesus told stories all the time, and those stories were called parables, right? That's what they called them in the Bible. And he asked the expert in the law, which of the three people who passed by was a neighbor to the person who was robbed. And like, we think about our neighbors, and yeah, I know Tony and Karen live next door, and Tom and Corey, but like, those are my next door neighbors. But who really is our neighbor, and how do we treat them?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think was the best neighbor in our little skit there, Adam?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd be interested in hearing from everybody else, but maybe I can just kind of go through and as a recap. So obviously we had a couple folks who were some robbers, looking for money and taking some gummy worms, and had their attack dog who sniffed out and Yeah, so vicious, so many licks and kisses, and
Yeah.
distracted the man so that they could take him down, and then sniffed around and found out that he had no money and no wallet. So obviously, I'm not a huge fan of how they acted. But then after that, we had a priest who was walking along.
He was going to the beach or something, right?
Yeah, at the beach hat, yeah, going to church on the beach,
Yeah.
and so you think like, okay, well, so somebody who works for the church, except even though this is somebody who was a priest, who was a minister, who was supposed to be someone representing God and living to help people, he crossed to the other side of the road. Not only did he not help this guy up, but he actually went out of his way to go, I don't want to be near this guy. So went out of his way to create more distance. And then we had a Levite, who is somebody who would have been kind of probably a friend or maybe even a relative of the man, who would be not maybe someone who went to let's say someone maybe who went to the same church as him, who like maybe kind of knows him. So you'd think, okay, so this guy, maybe they go to the same church, or they're relatives, or they're friends, or they're acquaintances, or they work together. And he also was like, he's too busy to help this guy up. And then Good Sam walks by, the Samaritan, and he's someone in the context of the story who wouldn't know the guy who got beat up at all, wouldn't have really maybe lived right by him, and maybe even and maybe they were even part of like kind of, who knows, maybe they were part of at school. You ever heard like those rival sports teams?
Yeah.
Maybe that I kind of imagine it could be like they were maybe people who went to schools who didn't really like each other. So that would be someone you think, oh, this guy, there's no way that this guy's going to help. But that's the guy who ends up helping him, and not just helping him up,
paying his bill.
Paid his bill.
Took care of him.
Took care of him.
Anything in return.
Didn't ask for anything in return. So went not just the bare minimum of helping, but went above and beyond and really gave everything that he had, even though he didn't know this person, even though he maybe even had some bad history between their schools or their churches or something like that. And he ends up being the one who goes all the way out of his way to help and make sure. And at the end, and not just to give himself a pat on the back, his goal was to make sure that the man on the side of the road had everything he needed and was going to be okay and in really good shape. So I would just throw that out as we kind of recap, throw that out to everybody watching. Who do you think was the neighbor and why? And maybe that's something that we can answer on the Zoom call.
Yeah, and maybe we can talk about if we've ever been the good neighbor, or if we've been like the priest or the Levite before.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put a challenge out to people. Do you think that from now until we jump on our Zoom call, that people could memorize a really short scripture? So I'll post it on here. But it's from Luke chapter 10, verse 27. And all it is love your neighbor, which seems so easy and yet so difficult at the same time. So
I think we can memorize that.
Do you think?
I think so. I know it's a short window and we got big church and stuff, but I think it's doable.
Do you have it memorized already?
Love your nieces.
Well, you should love your nieces, but
I do.
You should love your neighbor.
Okay, well, yeah. I'm close. I got the first two words, so I might need a little bit extra time. But I think by the time we get onto Zoom, I'm gonna have it down.
Luke 10:27, and we want you to bring some paper and some scissors and some markers for the call, because we are going to actually create a good Sam. So, Adam, good to see you back, buddy.
Yeah, you too. I was away for a bit, and then you were away for a bit, and we're back in, and we've got costumes, we've got movie magic. It feels right, and it's only a few weeks.
We have Advent coming.
I was just gonna say, only a few weeks for those who have seen our emails and stuff. Adventures in Bethlehem is coming in December. I can't wait. We need some volunteers. We're gonna be getting that ready during the month of November, but we are so excited for Advent, for Adventures in Bethlehem, for what we're hopeful is a normal feeling family Christmas Eve service coming up. It's a funny thing working in the church world where you're like, whether you're ready for Christmas music and movies or not, November, you got to start kicking into that gear. So some people love it because they are ready for Christmas right after Remembrance Day. But we are doing lots of prep and we can't wait for Advent stuff. And yeah, we'll see you on the Zoom call in a bit after Big Church. And we'll be ready with those questions about helping each other. And have you ever needed help? Who do you think the neighbor was? We'll be making our good Sam and we'll have our memory verse.
Your neighbor.
Natural habitat. Neighbor, right. That was what I'm getting closer.
You are.
I'm getting closer.
You've got the right letter. So anyway, guys, we'll see you not in Big Church. Well, yeah, we'll see you in Big Church because
we'll see you in Big Church, but also we'll see you on Zoom after. See you later.
Bye.